Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to Ed Talk TV, Conversations Worth Having. I'm your host, Ed Troxel, and I am the tech-savvy business strategist who helps overwhelmed business owners get organized and overcome their tech challenges so that they can just show up, deliver, and engage. I hope you are having a fantastic Monday. Be sure to let me know in the comments, even if you're watching the replay. Super important, replay viewers. I still want to hear from you. If this is your first time joining, welcome. This is a business talk show. We talk about business, tech, and the user experience. We typically go live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And today we barely made it. Barely. Like, you guys, when I'm telling you barely, I literally just titled the show a minute before 4 o'clock. And I was able to get everything set up literally within that minute. It was awesome. A lot of craziness. It's been a busy day, but we're here. And so I hope that you guys had a great weekend. Be sure to tell me in the comments that you're here, even if you're watching the replay. It's super important. Today, what I wanted to talk about was your content. Yeah, that content that you keep putting out into the world. I want to talk about that. We typically will do random news beforehand, so I don't have any random news in terms of from news sources. So I'm just going to tell you my random news, kind of why I was almost going to be late, and then we'll jump into today's content, so feel free to share this out. But for random news today, what I wanted to share with you is learning about food. Now, some of you know I've been on this new health journey, fitness journey, whatever you want to call it. I've been working out in a different way at the gym and learning how to track my food and all that stuff. And let me just tell you that it is very interesting, mind-blowing really, to learn about nutrition and to figure out all the garbage that's in our food and then what you can have and can't have, and it's just this constant you're like a ping pong ball going back and forth across the table, right? Because you're learning what's good, what's not, and then you're trying all these different things, and it's really crazy. So point is that whatever you're doing with your nutrition level, your fitness level, just keep doing it and keep moving forward. Welcome those joining. This is just random news, and then we'll jump into today's content. I love it. I'm seeing all the thumbs up. This is awesome. Welcome. So the point is that when you are eating, when you're about to eat something, just think about what is in that meal. What are the sugars, the carbs, the everything in there, and just kind of understand the first steps. Now, I'm not a pro at this at all. Let me just tell you that right now. I'm still learning everything, but it's really interesting when you start looking at the labels in a different way and understanding sugar is the biggest one that you want to start cutting down because sugar's in everything. And it's crazy. It's very interesting. So I won't go on and bore some of you with that, but I just want to share that in random news because the reason I was almost late, remember we got here a minute before 4, was because I actually did a field trip. I got to go to the store with my trainer and learn about what I can and can't have, or should and shouldn't have, right? And learn what to look for on the labels, which is super cool, and I think is a rare experience that you get to have when you're doing something like this. So it was awesome. So anyway, we're here and we're ready to talk about today's content. Today's content is going to be about content. It's kind of weird, right? Today's content is going to be about content. Anyway, we're going to roll with it. So let me know, even if you're watching the replay, let me know in the comments, do you have a blog? Let me know in the comments. I'm going to also make sure that I have the app open, Facebook app, because here's the thing. I don't know about you guys, but, oh, that's cool. It just popped up. Let me turn this down a little bit. Welcome, Paula. Welcome, Bernadette. Oh, what up, Bernadette? So anyway, I just want to make sure that I was getting things coming through, because I don't know about you guys, but Facebook has been wonky. We talk about that all the time, right? Facebook's high, low, all over the place. But literally, the past 2 weeks have been really bad across the board between personal newsfeed, your personal newsfeed, your business newsfeed, and your groups even. Groups are even being affected. So there's a lot of things going on right now, which is really odd. But let's talk about the content. So do you have a blog? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments. And if you do or don't, are you also creating social media posts? Because that's content too. Whether it's just a quick status update or you're letting people know what you have for your business or what you will have for your business, anything like that, that's all content, right? And what we have to remember is that when we are putting content out there. Like our main focus, and if you're not there yet, this is something that you can look forward to because this is what we do as business owners, is that our main focus is to figure out what content do we want to talk about or share, and when are we going to share it? How are we going to share it? Is it a blog post? Is it a podcast episode? Is it a video? Is it a live broadcast? Like whatever it may be, right? You have all those different options. But what happens after we put it out there? Like what happens? You've thought about it. You've created. Paula says, I have a blog, but it's inactive because I have too much to keep up with. Yeah, but Paula, I know that you're creating a ton of content on your Facebook business page, right? So they're almost like, let's break that down for a second for everyone. Because I know a lot of you may or may not have a blog, but you're making what I consider blog posts on your Facebook page, which is okay, it's fine. But I want to share that with you guys because I want you to realize that you're still creating content. It's just not necessarily on your website. You're putting it elsewhere, okay? So when you are starting to write your posts on Facebook, it's easier to share an update, if you will, on Facebook versus an update on your website, right? How many people, even if you're watching the replay, how many people can agree with that? That it's easier to update people on Facebook than it is on your website. Because many of you don't want to deal with the tech on your website, right? And that's okay. You'll get there. Wherever your website is, you'll get there. Don't worry about it. But I just want to point that out, that's why you're posting more frequently on Facebook, and that's it, because it's super easy to post there versus your website. And that's something that, that's a whole nother conversation, but I just want to point that out. And so the stuff that you're posting, that's content. You're putting these large chunks of text and images and videos out there for people to recognize and see, right? Which is great. But what happens to it after you've posted? That's what I want to talk about, because we're always thinking about right now and the future, right? Like, what do we have to do right now to get it out? Let's get it out. Done. Okay, move on to the next one. Get this one out. Done. Okay, cool. What's the next one? So we're constantly moving forward in that sense. But we forget that we have so much content, so much good content that we've already put out. We forget to repurpose that. We forget to reshare that with people, right? Is anybody else in that same boat? You make your post, whether it's Facebook or your website, and you're kind of just done. And maybe once in a while when Facebook reminds you, a year later or whatever, with the memory thing, you might reshare it, but chances are you're not really going to. It's done, it's off your plate, bye. It maybe lasts a day or two if you're lucky, and then you move on. But what about all that content you've created before? How can you put that back into the world? Is it still relevant? That's what you need to be asking yourself. Is it still relevant? Does it still work? And can you reshare it? Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you what I was working on this morning, which is why it inspired me to do this live today for the show. I'm going to go ahead and flip my screen here. Give me 1 second. Let's see, I want to go to 3. All right, so on my blog, so I'm going to use my blog for example. On my blog, look at this. This was back in January of 2015. So let me just give you a little idea of what I was up to this morning. So I decided to go back to the beginning of my blog and really start to see like what blog posts are there. Are they still relevant? Can I reshare them? And do I need to format them a little differently? Because I'll tell you, when I first started blogging, it wasn't the prettiest. It's still not, but it needs to be improved. So I went through and made some adjustments. Now, let me just show you real quick. This is the final piece right here, but I'm going to break it down in a minute. So you can see that it's actually a decent, what I would consider long blog post for me, okay? And I broke it up and I have some things going on here. So it's pretty decent. And I actually just put this back in my queue For those who aren't familiar, a queue in line to be shared out. I use Buffer for social media, and I really haven't scheduled a lot of things. I've kind of been just on the go scheduling, not scheduling, but posting. So I haven't really utilized that. So I'm going to kind of go back and look at my blog posts and see what's relevant and then start scheduling them out so that you guys can start learning from those posts, because there's still a lot of great content on my blog that most of you are never ever going to see. It's a fact. Like, you're never going to see it because you're not going to spend time on my website going through the archives. You're just not. I mean, if you do, that's awesome, and I would totally appreciate that, but chances are you're not going to. So it's my job as the business owner and as the person wanting to teach you, it's my job to go through and put these back out into the world as long as they're relevant. So this one's going to be coming out soon, and what I want to share with you is what I ended up doing with this one. Now, I don't think we had it here on this show, but those who are in the Hey Ed community, if you don't know what the Hey Ed community is about, if you go to my website, edtroxel.com, click on Join Hey Ed right up at the top, and you'll learn more about it. But those inside the Hey Ed membership got a little training from an expert about storytelling and things like that, and we talked about, having long-form blog posts. And so because of that training, I think it was last week or the week before, and a lot of branding learning that I've been having the last week or two, it's been real interesting. The universe has really been helping me out with that stuff, so it's cool. Fall is going to be very exciting for us, just so you guys know. So I took all of that, and I was going through these blog posts this morning, and I started with, let me go all the way down. I started with November, and we'll just go up to January right now. I got up to March, but we'll save January here. So I started at the beginning and I got here. Now what I did was I found two, and it was almost back to back, so it was really interesting. I found two blog posts that, were just yay big. I mean, maybe this one and then this size, that talked about email, like how to format email and what you should and shouldn't do with email. Now, if you guys don't know this already about me, I'm really big on email, and not just how good email can be for you as a business owner and how organized you can get with it, but when you write the proper email, it takes a little bit of practice, but when you write the proper email, it makes your life so much easier. And when you can train others to do the same, oh my gosh, it's a game changer. It's a game changer. You think texting is easy? This will blow you away, trust me. So what I did was I found the two blog posts that were back to back. So let's say, I think it was probably about like maybe this chunk of text here and this, and a little bit of this. Then the other blog post was all of this. So the format your blog or email all the way down to the signature. Actually, the whole thing. Whoops, sorry. The whole thing right here. So I put all of that, I took both blog posts and I combined them into this one. So instead of having two that talk about email, I put it into one that's all about create more effective emails and reduce your inbox. And then I talk about what are the 4 Ds, and I added my FYI. So it's the 4 Ds plus an FYI because I wanted to put my own touch on there. So I tell you what that is. Then I go into how you should format your email, and then how you can break down the email process. So then that way it's all in one blog post for somebody, and it's easy to just keep on moving down. The other thing that I can add to this that I thought of just now is my free email course on how to write better emails. I can add that to this. So then at the very bottom, if you're really interested, boom, you can take that free course, right? I think it's still free. So it's a way of being able to consolidate, write those longer blog posts, and the only thing I had to actually write, you guys, was I made some edits to my signature because that's changed since 2015, and then I think I wrote, like this paragraph. I edited it a little bit, and that was it. Like I didn't have to write all of this because I already did it back in 2015. All I did was go in and find two similar blog posts and condense it to one and then format it properly. That's it. So yeah, it took some time, but I didn't have to sit there and think of a new topic. I didn't have to go through and force myself to write something. I just had to go in and edit. That was it. And then I can put this back out into the world. And we know that, and this is the weird thing for me because I prefer short and sweet and just to the point, but there's this thing about blog posts that if you have longer form blog posts, it actually will help you with your SEO, your search engine optimization, and it actually helps people stay on your website longer because, of course, they're on one post and they're making their way down the page. So if it's good content, they're willing to read and stay, which is really cool. So it kills all the birds with one stone here. So hopefully that makes sense for you. But that's what I wanted to share with you is how can you make your content come back alive? Now, some of you may be asking, and if you're not, I know you will be because I'll just put it out there. How did I take two blog posts that have been out in the universe since 2015 and create it into one? Well, first I took the content from one and put it in the other. And then this is where it gets a little techie, but I'm just going to plant the seed. Don't worry about it right now, but I'm just going to plant the seed. What I did was I deleted the old blog posts, which means it's going to go away in Google eventually, right? It gets rid of that SEO that I built up, but I redirected, it's called redirect, that URL to the new blog post. Now I know some of you are going to be scratching your heads like, oh my gosh, I don't get it. That was a lot, Ed. Don't worry. The first thing that you want to do in this whole process is go through your blog, go through your social media posts, whatever platform you're using the most, and ask yourself, which ones can I repurpose? Can I combine any of these? Can I make them longer? Where can I put this? Good, Paula. I'm glad that this is helpful. This is mind-blowing. Good. Where can I add a little bit more? Take away? What can you do differently? Because here's the thing. Content's not your issue. You may think it's your issue, because many of us do, but I will tell you right now, creating content is not your issue. You have plenty of content. I have plenty of content. I have more content than I need. Like, literally. I create so much content on a daily basis. So do you. We just don't know what to do with it, right? Because there's just so much. But we have to take what we've done already and bring it back to life and not stress out about creating something new. Because chances are you've already created it. You've already talked about it. You just have to repurpose it. That's why I love that word, repurpose. So think about that today. Make notes in your planners, your to-do list, whatever it is, to make some time. And I'll tell you, it takes some time. Don't get me wrong. It took. I think this morning it took me 2 hours to really go through what I was looking at. I dedicated those hours for that and really got through quite a few blog posts and condensing that one. Bernadette, have you turned any of your blogs to paid products? Oh, I don't. Well, not these old ones yet, but yes, you can do that for sure, depending on your content and how you have it structured. I mean, this one, for instance, this is kind of I guess we could call this one that I was showing you guys, we could call that like the freebie, right? In terms of it kind of gives you the breakdown. But then if I wanted to, I can make the course paid, which I think it's still free. I haven't looked at it in a while, but I'm pretty sure it's still free. But I could have made that paid, right? So like this could be the hook, and then it takes you to the paid option. So you can certainly do that, and you guys could look at, ebooks, you guys can look at, I know where your head's at, I like it. So you guys, here's the big one, you can look at your blog posts. You guys have created all this content. Whether you're trying to write an ebook, a regular book, whatever, chances are you've already done the work. You already got your chapters. Now they may not be the chapter titles, but you have the content, right? Isn't that the cool part? So you may be thinking, we'll use this as an example because it's fresh in my mind, maybe I want to write an ebook on email marketing. Well, I already know from this morning's work, I had 3 blog posts about email. I consolidated down to 2 now because I put most of everything in this one. And then I'm sure between 2015 and today, I can still go back and find a whole lot more about email and literally piece it all together, make those little edits and formatting. Boom, I have my ebook. Free or paid, it doesn't matter. Like, I love that you asked that. Perfect question. So understand that you can do that with your blog posts. You can do that with your social media posts. It's just going in with a different perspective, a different eye, different mindset, and looking at it and saying, okay. We have to pause though, remember? We can't just be in that go, go, go forward mode, which we're normally in. We have to say, all right, Ed, Paula, Bernadette, everyone else watching, even on the replay. We have to say, hold your horses, pump the brakes, give me a minute, let me browse my content, let me make note of what stands out for me and my audience. What do I want to do with this? Do I want to just reschedule it, put it out into the world? Do I want to make an ebook? Do I want to make a podcast series out of this? Listen, you guys, you're getting so much right now. So you can take your blog post, and if you've been wanting to create a podcast and you're not sure about how many episodes and all that, dude, you got it right there. It's right there on your blog. Use your blog. Run with it. That's the part that I want you to understand, is that you have so much there. Brendan says, I repurpose a lot of my blog posts into podcasts. Boom! Yes, I love that. We're right on there. I love that. You guys are good. So good. Making my day right now. I'm so glad. That's the big thing. It's just really going through and making that. I've also turned them into IG posts. See? I like that. I love it. Nice. See, even those of you guys who are watching the replay, make sure to comment. Let us know what you're doing, maybe what you've tried, or when you see people comment, like Bernadette here, go and respond. Be like, oh, I never thought of that, or that's a great idea. I'm going to try that. Like, let us know, because it's nice to know that somebody's paying attention and that somebody is going to try this, or maybe you have another idea that somebody else can try. Think about that. That's what it's really all about. So I hope that was helpful for you guys. I can already see in the comments you guys are doing a great job and that this was very helpful. If you have any other tips or anything, please let us know in the comments as well. And I put them on medium.com, different audience and more reads. Bernadette, yes. So medium.com is a great one to use. I will be honest, I haven't used mine in a while. I've been slacking on that part just because I've been focused on all these other things. But yes, medium.com is a great way to utilize your blog post and really get a whole different audience attracted to that. So that's a very, very good resource for those who are not familiar. So definitely check that out. So if you guys need anything else, you know where to find me here on the page. edtroxel.com is where you're going to want to go after this if you're not already on the newsletter, and if you want to check out Hey Ed. And I appreciate you guys hanging out with me today and checking out all of this good stuff. We will see you back here, same time, same place tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, night, morning, wherever you're tuning in. And I'll talk to you later. Take care. Stop letting tech hold you back and join Hey Ed today. What is the Hey Ed community? I'll let them tell you.
I'm drawn to this community, Erica, because listen, I'm going to make sure as a business person, I know you are as well, serious business women, we're going to make sure that we're getting the content knowledge we need from the Hey Ed community. But I also want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy my workday. And I know I'll get that balance in the Hey Ed community. I know he'll tolerate our tangents.
And I think that's the perfect way to have a really good engaged community. It's a perfect balance of business and fun,